I never thought my marriage would end over a password. My wife and I had been together 10 years, married for 6. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. Or at least I thought so. We had routines, inside jokes, Sunday breakfasts. Lately, though, she'd been distant. Always tired. Always busy. She stopped asking about my day. Stopped noticing when I came home late. Started sleeping facing the wall. When I tried to talk, she said I was overthinking. That work was stressing her out. That I was too needy. I believed her. I wanted to, but then she changed every password she had and told me it was for privacy. That word felt like a door quietly locking. The first crack appeared when she forgot her tablet at home. It kept buzzing while I was working from the kitchen. I tried to ignore it. Then a message preview popped up. Last night was worth the risk. From someone saved as Project Lead. My heart started racing. I picked it up, telling myself I'd just check if it was work-related. It wasn't. Dozens of messages, photos, voice notes, plans. They joked about me being predictable and easy to manage. She told him she stayed with me because I was safe, not exciting. The worst part? The affair had been going on for almost a year. While I was planning vacations, she was planning hotel nights. When I confronted her, she didn't panic. She sighed, like I'd just complained about dirty dishes. She said I shouldn't have looked, that I'd violated her trust. Then she cried and said she felt trapped in our marriage. Then she admitted she loved him. Then she said she didn't know what love even was. Every 5 minutes, the story changed. Finally, she looked at me and said, "You're strong. You'll survive this." Like betrayal was just an inconvenience. That night, she slept peacefully. I sat on the floor of the bathroom, shaking, realizing the woman I trusted most had been living a double life right next to me. The next few days felt unreal. She acted normal, too normal, made jokes, asked if I wanted takeout, even complained about her co-worker, the same man she was sleeping with. When I asked if she was still talking to him, she said no without hesitation. Later that night, her phone lit up with his name. Another lie, another tiny cut. I started noticing things I'd ignored before. How she'd angle her screen away, how she'd take calls on the balcony, how she'd suddenly work late every Thursday. It was like watching old security footage of my own life and finally understanding the crime. I decided to gather proof, not for revenge, for clarity, for sanity. I checked our shared cloud storage and found a hidden folder. Inside were selfies she'd never sent me, hotel bathroom shots, videos meant for someone else. There were even screenshots of our arguments, labeled evidence. That word made my stomach drop. Evidence of what? Me being tired? Me asking questions? Me being confused? Another twist came when I realized she'd been sending these to her friends, telling them I was emotionally abusive, that I controlled her, that she was scared of me. None of it was true, but they believed her. When I confronted her with the folder, she exploded, screamed that I was spying on her, threw a glass at the wall, then collapsed crying, saying she hated herself. 10 minutes later, she was calm again and said maybe we could try counseling. That same night, I got a message from the other man. He said he thought we were already separated. He said she told him I was unstable and refused to let her leave. He sent screenshots. They didn't match her story at all. She'd been playing both of us. Different versions. Different lies. I wasn't just betrayed. I'd been used as part of her narrative. After that, I stopped trying to save the marriage and started trying to save myself. I moved into the guest room and locked my phone with a new password. She noticed immediately, said I was changing, said I was becoming cold. I didn't argue. I was tired of explaining reality to someone who kept rewriting it. One night, I overheard her on the phone telling someone I was emotionally unstable and that she was waiting for the right time to leave. Another twist. She'd been planning her exit for months while pretending we were fixing things. I realized every apology had been strategic. Things got worse when money entered the picture. I checked our account and found several large withdrawals. She'd been transferring money to her sister. When I asked, she said it was for emergencies. then admitted it was in case I cut her off, then said I was financially abusive for questioning it. Somehow, every concern I had became proof of my supposed cruelty. I started recording conversations, just in case. Living like that feels dirty, but I didn't feel safe anymore. One evening she came home unusually quiet, sat across from me, and said she wanted a trial separation, then added that she'd already looked at apartments, nearest place. She didn't even hide it. When I said I wanted a divorce, she laughed and said I'd never go through with it, that I was too dependent on her emotionally. That sentence hit harder than anything. She didn't see me as a partner. She saw me as weak, as manageable. That night, I packed a bag and left for a friend's house. For the first time in months, I slept without anxiety, and I knew I wasn't coming back. Staying at my friend's place felt like waking up from anesthesia. Everything was quiet. No accusations. No tension. No emotional landmines. Meanwhile, my phone exploded. Messages from her switched between, "I'm sorry," and "You ruined everything," within minutes. She begged me to come back, then threatened to expose me to our families. Another twist. She told my parents I was having a mental breakdown and had abandoned her. My mother called me crying. I had to explain the affair to my own parents before I was ready. That hurt more than I expected. I hired a lawyer the next week. Best decision I made. He told me to stop engaging and start documenting. When divorce papers were served, she lost control. Showed up at my workplace demanding to talk. Told my coworkers I was heartless. HR had to intervene. Later she texted, "I just wanted you to feel what I feel." That sentence scared me. She didn't want peace. She wanted pain to be mutual. Then came the biggest twist. She was pregnant, or said she was. She called me sobbing, saying it might be mine. That maybe this was a sign to fix things. I almost believed her. Then her sister messaged me privately and said she'd been telling everyone the baby was the other man's. I asked for proof. She refused, said I should trust her. After everything, she still expected blind trust. A week later, she admitted she wasn't sure who the father was. That was the moment any remaining attachment died. The court process was brutal but revealing. Financial records, messages, timelines, everything came out. Her stories collapsed one by one. She tried to claim I was controlling. My lawyer showed months of texts where she disappeared without explanation. She tried to say I ignored her. We showed hundreds of messages where I begged to talk. Watching the truth surface felt strange. Not victorious. Just clarifying. Like finally seeing the full picture of a lie I'd been living inside. The divorce was finalized on a rainy Thursday afternoon. No audience. No drama. Just signatures and quiet exhaustion. She barely looked at me. When she did, her eyes were empty, like I was someone she used to know in another life. Outside the courthouse, she tried one last time. Said she never meant to hurt me. Said she was just confused. Said I'd been the only stable thing in her life. I listened without interrupting. Then I said goodbye and walked away. She didn't follow. That told me everything. Rebuilding was slow and awkward. I moved into a small apartment with cheap furniture and too much silence. At first, the silence was painful. Then it became comforting. I started therapy. Learned how much of myself I'd shrunk to keep her comfortable. How often I'd ignore my instincts to avoid conflict. I reconnected with friends she'd subtly pushed away. Picked up hobbies I'd abandoned. Slowly, I started feeling like a person again, not just someone reacting to someone else's chaos. A year later, I heard she left the other man too. Apparently, he wasn't exciting anymore once real life started. For a moment, I felt something like sadness for her. Then it passed. Some people don't want partnership. They want mirrors and escape routes. I don't hate her. I just don't miss her. If there's anything I've learned, it's this. Love isn't secrecy. It isn't fear. It isn't rewriting reality to protect lies. Real love feels safe. It feels boring sometimes. It feels honest. If you're constantly doubting yourself in a relationship, it's probably not because you're broken. It's because someone is benefiting from your confusion. Leaving was terrifying. Staying would have destroyed me. I didn't lose a marriage. I got my life back. And that's a story I'm finally proud to tell.